Welcome to The Explainer. If you've got your notebooks handy, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're jumping straight into an incredibly encouraging 5-minute overview of Lesson 3 from the Christian Care Mentor course. We're going to look at a huge communications trap that honestly catches almost all of us at some point, and we'll see how to fundamentally change the way we connect with people who are really hurting.
So think about this. How do you help someone when you literally can't fix their problem? It's a tough one, right? But this is exactly the dilemma that caregivers and mentors run into every single day. When the people we care about are drowning in stress, our immediate reflex is to grab our mental toolkit and just start fixing things. Honestly, staying quiet when someone you love is in pain, it is incredibly hard to do.
Section 1. The urge to fix. To understand this urge, our source text introduces us to a mentor named Ruth. She was battling that intense, overwhelming instinct to explain, clarify, and just fix all the problems of her mentee, Elena. But remembering her training, Ruth chose to stay quiet. She just offered gentle sounds of attention and let the empty pauses hang there in the room. And finally, after a really long silence, Elena opened up. She said, "I think what hurts most is that no one asks how I'm doing." By suppressing that immediate urge to fix, Ruth actually made room for a sacred breakthrough to happen.
Section 2. Listening for the heart.
Elena's profound vulnerability, right there, that beautifully captures the core shift of this entire lesson. Effective communication absolutely is not about magically fixing things. It's about active listening. The course defines this as an intentional, prayerful choice to be fully present, hearing not only words but the emotions, pauses, and meaning beneath them. You aren't just processing vocabulary, you're tuning into the heavy sighs, the hesitations, the real meaning. It's about creating a ministry of presence where someone feels immediate relief just by being deeply heard without any interruption or correction.
So how do we practically do that? We use the 70-30 rule. As a mentor or a supportive friend, you should be spending 70% of your time listening and only 30% speaking. Just think about that for a second. You are doing more than double the amount of listening compared to talking.
Section 3. Asking the right questions. Okay, so if you're only speaking for that 30%, how do you make those words count? It really comes down to asking the right kinds of questions to draw out deeper truths. Look at the difference here. If you ask a closed question, like, "Did you sleep well last night?" you're boxing the conversation into just brief facts. You're probably just going to get a yes or a no. But open-ended questions, like, "What has been most challenging for you this week?" those invite real reflection. They offer dignity. Now, a quick warning from the text, we really need to cautiously avoid using interrogative why questions. Asking why can easily come across as judgmental, putting people on the defensive instead of making them feel safe and respected.
Section 4. Reflecting and affirming.
Once a caregiver actually opens up and shares their burden with you, how should you respond? You want to use reflective listening. Step 1, listen carefully to the speaker. Step 2, restate the feelings and the meaning in your own words. You aren't just acting like a parrot and repeating facts here. You're reflecting the actual emotion back to them. And step 3, confirm your understanding. Actually, Proverbs 18:13 hits the nail on the head. To answer before listening is folly. Reflective listening cuts down on misunderstandings, it totally honors the speaker, and it gives them some much-needed perspective.
Next up, we have affirming small victories. When you're listening to someone who is hurting, it is so crucial to actively recognize their faithfulness and their resilience. Name the fruit of the Spirit that you see in them. Point out their patience. Acknowledge their gentleness. Highlight their endurance. It sounds like such a simple thing, right? But warmly affirming these easily overlooked victories, it's a total game changer. It dramatically strengthens a caregiver's ability to keep persevering amidst all that exhausting, ongoing strain.
Section 5. The quiet ministry.
When we bring all of these practical tools together, the active listening, the open-ended questions, the reflections, they collectively form what our source beautifully calls a quiet ministry of healing. 1 Thessalonians 5:11 reminds us, "Therefore encourage one another and build each other up." Listen, effective communication is not a pass-or-fail test of your ability to fix someone's circumstances. You aren't there to solve the unsolvable. You're simply there to offer a ministry of presence and grace, making sure the person feels completely understood, supported, and never, ever alone. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final reflection question pulled straight from the lesson itself. When have you felt most deeply heard during a difficult season? Take a moment today to really consider the profound impact that true active listening had on you in that moment. And remember, you possess the absolute power to offer that exact same healing space to someone else. Thanks so much for joining me today, and keep learning.